Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in once again. We have made it, thankfully, to another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gomez Law Firm, the Salmonella Group, and what's that roofing company?
Integrity
Roofing and Siding. Exactly. Yes. We'll get to this here in a little bit, but we are live all again inside the all-electric Lexus RZ 450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus in San Antonio and North Park Lexus at Dominion. And I can joke about Integrity Roofing and Siding because we're literally on the property today with one of the co-owners of the company, my dear friend and obviously supporter of this show, Stephanie Suarez, who is here. Your hubby was here once upon a time.
Yes, he was. Great show.
Thank you.
Great
and
show.
We weren't going to continue on much longer if you weren't going to come on. So, but not to compare, Ronnie didn't bring guests. Today it is a family affair.
Yes.
Inside the Lexus RZ 450e.
Yes, in true mom fashion, I brought some kids with me.
It's not bring your kid to work day.
Well, actually, I did bring the kids
you did.
to work.
Okay.
They do work at Integrity Roofing. They are our proud graduates. They graduated this past May. Madison graduated from Texas State.
Very good.
And Ricky graduated from UNT. And they've joined our company.
They're on the payroll.
They are. It's time.
Okay, so they're literally working right now.
They are,
Okay,
they are.
okay.
And I told them they can't sit here for too long because they need to get back to work.
They're on the clock.
They're on a clock, baby. They already had their lunch break.
Very good. So are they dismissed now?
Yes, they are. They
Okay.
are. I just really wanted everyone to, see them and
I love it.
Getting to the next generation.
Oh, good. Well, we'll talk about that. So
Yeah.
the company is in solid
Bye,
hands.
guys. I love you.
Thank you,
Take care of
guys.
business.
Okay. Oh, look at Madison did not come empty-handed.
No,
Look
see,
at this.
On top of it.
She deserves a raise.
I do, right?
We'll have a performance review tomorrow.
And the phone number is right in the middle. Look at that.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys. Well, how about that? You think of everything, don't you?
I love them. I should, right?
You should. I hope you do. Yeah, I would too. The way they take care of you.
They are. They're so awesome.
They're gonna be like, Mom,
I
why?
know. I was like, oh, you remember we're doing that thing today.
Yeah. No, it worked out very good. So there you have it. Integrity Roofing and Siding. Thanks for being here, by the way.
I'm honored.
We've been
Thank
wanting
you.
to do this for a while. And in all seriousness, you guys have supported me in ways that I hopefully can repay one of these days. But it's a pleasure to be here because your husband has a fantastic story, and I think we outlined a lot of that here. And you equally have so much. You're respectfully one of those people that I just see a list of things you're doing, and I get exhausted.
Oh, stop.
Just because I'm like, I feel like an underachiever.
No, what are you talking
No, you're going to
about?
understand what I'm saying in just a little bit. But you guys are gearing up, and I can see why you'd have your children on board because you're getting ready for a big milestone for the company.
Yes, so October is a special month.
Yes.
Not only because that's the month Ronnie and I got married,
Yes.
but that is actually our anniversary month for the company. And we are turning 19 years old. And we are going to start our road to 20. So it's very, very, very special time for us.
So 20 years in 2025,
Yeah.
but you're going to start the preparation now. And I mean, without giving everything away, what are some things that you want to accomplish with this kind of road to 20?
Well, I do want to highlight, though, 20 is integrity. But
Correct.
Ronnie's
Yeah,
dad
that's true.
Had his own company. So collectively, we're about 40 years
I was gonna
in,
say,
in
yeah, it's almost
servicing
twice
this
as long.
community. And I think it's just more of celebrating our city, you
Yeah.
know, celebrating the people who have supported us. We have had an amazing opportunity to help friends, newcomers to San Antonio. And we just want to celebrate those wins and celebrate great projects and continue to, I think something that's going to be new for us is evolving into being like an educator of sorts. Doing your roof is a major thing.
Yes, it is.
It's major. And I think a lot of times, because, we don't spend a lot of time up there.
Right. I sure as heck don't.
It's not really something you think about. But what I like to equate it to, it's like surgery. It's like a serious operation. So think about that. Like if you were going to have an operation, you'd do your homework. You would want to make sure they're licensed, they're certified, they're insured.
Yeah.
They're people that you can trust.
Yeah.
And so that's what I like to say about us. And I think we can do a better job than before in really kind of educating our community on the things that you should know when you do these major projects with roofing and siding.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to get on my roof years ago, like to put Christmas lights up and
Right.
stuff, and I know better now. I don't do that anymore. So that's why I would just leave it to the professionals and everything.
Yes.
But, how long have you been with the company? Because you did not come in on day one.
No, I did not. I had my own career.
Which we will get into in just a moment.
And, Ronnie had been trying to recruit me for several years, even when we were married.
Yes.
I was not ready to do that. I had an unexpected departure from the public sector to care for my brother.
Yes.
Some time passed, and I wasn't sure if I was going to return to the public sector.
Right.
And he said, well, why don't you start coming to the office? And I thought, okay, I can do
that.
that.
That's how it starts.
So I remember I wore a suit and I had my little briefcase, and I came in and I thought, well, where am I going to sit? Which desk am I going to be at? And he said, you're going to be at the front desk. I was like,
you're going to answer the phone.
Oh, okay. I can do that,
Right.
And so that was in December. Well, that was November of 2011.
I think Ronnie told a story, and I'm paraphrasing here, but maybe one of the first phone calls you got, and you were so nice. I mean, you've got that part down and everything. And then I think he asked you something to the effect of, well, did you collect the payment or did you process the payment? And you're like,
yeah, so my responsibilities grew
Yes.
from scheduling, getting to know what people's needs were and
Right.
are. And I still love doing that. When I can grab the phone, I just love talking to people and
Yes.
getting to know them, what their needs are. And then I graduated to invoicing, and I graduated into production planning and checking on materials. And then I graduated to, closing the projects out. And so the first time I was supposed to do that, he said, why don't you go ahead and call Mr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so? I was like, oh, I know them.
Yes.
They're so wonderful. And, I know this about their kids. La, la, la.
uh-huh.
So I called him, super happy with the project. And I got off the phone. And he said, well, when are we going to pick up the check?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I forgot about that part. Dang it. And Ronnie's always taking good care of me and
Yes.
loves me, and I just thought, well, he's gonna call them.
Right.
So I was just looking at him, and he said, pick up the phone and you need to call them. I was like, oh yeah, Mr. So-and-so, can
Yes.
we get paid?
Please, to support my family.
That was a long time ago now.
So you didn't just walk right in on day one and become vice president. You literally worked your way up.
Oh yes. I mean,
here
in
you are.
short of being on the roof myself.
Which you would not do.
No. I mean, I don't know.
You don't need to. No, the answer is no. Ronnie, don't put her on a roof. That would be ridiculous. Don't do that.
I've really learned the aspects of
Yeah.
business. I was terrified to become an entrepreneur, by the way. I was more in a very kind of linear.
Yes.
Being an entrepreneur was like just a total different life. And so it terrified me,
Yeah.
but I've had an amazing coach in my husband, and now I love it.
Doesn't hurt. And now you're coaching the next generation. Quite
Yes,
literally.
yes.
Kiddos were in the back seat.
But
so
it's really about service.
good for you.
And
Good
that's
for
the
you.
thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys, and again, we'll touch on that here in just a little bit. You grew up with parents who were educators, correct?
Oh, yes. Yes, my parents, I'm from the west side of San Antonio. I'm very proud of that. My parents grew up in the west side of San Antonio, and then my father went to the military, and he was able to earn an opportunity to get an education at St. Mary's University, and that's when he met my mom. And so they became educators, and they decided to go back to Edgewood. And then they went and earned master's degrees and became administrators.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yes, and my dad actually became the high school principal of Edgewood, and that's the high school he grew up at.
Get out of here.
Yes. And then my father eventually retired as superintendent. So watching my parents just work so hard for the community that they came from and loved, it's just like ingrained in me. It's part of my DNA.
Yeah.
And I loved growing up on the west side of San Antonio.
So where did you go to high school?
So we started, we lived
Yes.
in the west side, and then we started to migrate. I went to Taft. Well, first of all, I went to Zachary. Well, first of all, I went to St. John Bosco
Okay.
Elementary, go Eagles.
Yes.
And then I went to Zachary Middle School.
Okay.
And then I graduated from Taft.
Was
Back
that was it Taft or Communications Arts? Or,
it was before Communications
Oh,
Arts. It
okay.
was a country road back then.
Now Northside has a bunch of schools out there.
No, honestly, when we would go visit my in-laws my in-laws, oh my God, as a child, no.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
My mother's in-laws.
Yes,
My
yes.
grandparents.
Yes.
We would be driving down like Petranco Road, and there'd be cows.
Sure, absolutely.
So back then, there was no 151 and cows.
No.
And 1604 was two lanes,
yeah.
with blinking lights. Aging myself here, but...
No, you're okay. You have aged quite gracefully, and you've amassed so many different awards. You know, you and I both have the unfortunate commonality of having lost our mothers.
Yes.
And in your case, I know you lost your mother very suddenly. You were very young, very unexpected. She was in a car accident.
Yes, I was a junior in high school, and it was spring break.
Oh,
I know. You know, but, you know, day to day, every day I think about her, and it just inspires me to be a mother that is present, a wife that's present, and just present every day. So I have a rule.
Yes.
You cannot leave without a hug and a kiss, because that's how it was with me and my mom.
I love that rule, by the way.
My mother, she, you know, led to do a little bob and kind of big, so that's where I get my big hair from. But she couldn't always do the back, so she would come to my room and I would like tease the back.
Oh.
And the last time I saw her, she was wearing this beautiful yellow dress with flowers, and we told each other we loved each other, and that was the last time I saw her. So I think just in life, we just can't oversee, like, just these moments, like, you know, or like the moments with your family and your friends. And one of the quotes I love, and we'll probably go full back circle to this, but you know, let your pain fuel your purpose. And so, you know, my mother still continues to inspire me 30 years later. Yeah.
It's remarkable. I love that rule. Like you said, don't leave without a hug.
Yes, I have 2 teenage boys, a preteen and a teenager right now, and I'll be
and
come back here right now.
And they'll do it.
Yeah, they will.
Okay. Okay. No, I have teenagers
Even
too.
Ronnie.
Even Ronnie. No, I get it. I get it. But that had to have changed you too, because you were a teenager, right?
Oh my gosh.
When that happened, I mean,
yeah, you know,
it's a lot to take on. For
you know, pain is a very interesting thing in life.
Yeah.
Grief is a very interesting thing in life, and it evolves. And there were definitely some brutal, difficult years, and I thank my father for just being that consistent lifeline in my life. I mean, my father, I'll have to show him Facebook. He doesn't know what Facebook is. Okay. But hi, Dad, I love
hello.
you.
It's Bocanegra, right? Is your
Bocanegra.
maiden name? So,
yes,
Mr. Bocanegra, hello, sir.
Love you, Dad. And he really has, till today, I had to borrow his car yesterday because Ronnie's car was in the shop, and I loaned Ronnie my car. But anyway, he needed to pick up the kids. But he really, and that's the thing. He's taught me, like, you're gonna have life tragedies. Yeah. Life is gonna kick your teeth out from time to time. These are all replacements. Right. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop. No.
But you know, I like to say, don't let the hard times in life harden your heart, because we can get rough.
Yeah. No.
With experiences that don't necessarily go your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you obviously endured all of that, and you continued on and finished high school, and then you went to college and began to, was it St. Mary's first?
Yes. Thank God for Dad.
Yes.
Because he basically dropped me off there and said,
at St. Mary's,
you will not have a home to come to if you do not go to school. So thank you, Dad.
Yeah. So
but I found my way there.
Were you always going to get multiple degrees? Because then you went to, was it UTSA?
I went to UTSA.
To get a master's?
I did, yes.
And as we speak, you're continuing?
Yes. I started a PhD program.
I told you, I'll get tired.
Stop
just
it.
Looking at all the Stephanie Suarez. So you're working on your PhD right now. Is that at Incarnate Word?
At Incarnate Word University. So I'm really excited to be there, and I'm enjoying it.
So next time I see you, it's going to be Dr. Stephanie Suarez.
Well, it's kind of a long process.
Why did you decide at this stage in your life to pursue that? Why you needed that?
Well, you know, it starts with those 2 kids that were just in here. In May, I attended their graduations within 48 hours of each other, and I think I did my master's degree 20 years ago.
Yes.
And at the time, I was kind of being encouraged to go further.
Right.
I was done. I was working 2 jobs, 2 nights doing neighborhood meetings,
yes.
2 nights doing class. I did that for 3 years straight, and I just wanted to work. And I kind of forgot about that dream, to be really honest. Life took over. I got married, became a mom. But as I was sitting there watching them graduate and listen to the commencement speeches. And then I saw people, because, Ricky calls them his Harry Potter suit. So they were wizards all weekend.
With the cap and gown
yeah, he was like, I just need my wizard's
beret
stick.
or whatever you call that with the staff and everything. Yes.
I was like, oh, I want one of those.
Yeah, they do look really cool.
They do look really cool. But to be really honest, this light like lit up in me.
Yeah.
That could not be turned off.
You could not.
And I just
ignore
thought,
it.
well, why not? So, what business has taught me is you could just cold call people. So I started searching in San Antonio because I wanted to do it in San Antonio because the end result is I want to contribute something to the community.
Right.
I want to create some research that's really going to help our community in some kind of way. And so I started like researching everybody, and then I found a program and I just called them.
Cold call.
I just cold called. I was like, hi, my name is Stephanie Suarez, and I was on your website, and I'm interested in talking to somebody about the PhD, and that's how it started. But it was a very intense summer because I didn't know I was going to do this in May. So over the summer, but you got to know when you don't say no and you say yes. And so I started this dialogue with the director over there, and then she said, well, why don't you come and observe these classes? Yeah. And a summer course is like 3 hours long in an evening. But it's like, well, if you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah.
So then I applied, and now I'm taking Intro to Inquiry.
Good for you. My late mother got her doctorate in her 40s, master's and doctorate, like 40s into her 50s.
Yeah.
And I watched her do that while she was an administrator back in Victoria.
Wow.
And to this day, it's an accomplishment. I'm not capable of doing that myself. I mean, that's just, but anybody who does that, because I've seen what that process and the struggle is while you've got kids and a husband and life and a house to run and all. I mean, it's amazing.
What I'm driven by is, sometimes you try to push each generation further.
Yeah.
And there's just so many like roots to the reason why I wanted to do it. But my grandparents and their parents worked really hard every generation to get me here. Sitting with you, like, wow, who would have ever known I'd be doing this? And I just kind of feel like there's something in me as a responsibility to keep pushing forward.
Somebody said the other day, all of our ancestors, if you think about what our parents and their parents and their parents had to do just for us to be sitting here today.
Oh my God, none of my grandparents finished middle school. Neither of my grandmothers drove a car. And I don't even know how they did it with 7 kids.
That's crazy.
I can't even do it.
And, back in the day, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Before the modern technology and everything.
Extremely tight beginnings.
So we thank them and we appreciate them.
And it's National Heritage, Hispanic
Heritage Month?
Yes. Vamos a hablar en español.
Un poquito. Es todo, no más.
Okay.
That's another thing.
But that's why I wore this shirt in honor of our culture. It's like I'm a piñata here with you.
She's not full of candy, though. She's just full of goodness and service and everything. And speaking of service, I mean, you were well on. If we went in the time machine back to, 12, 15 years ago, you were well on your way. I told this to somebody the other day. You probably could have run for public office and won, but you were. I think you were working at City Hall, right? You were doing some different things. You eventually were at SAWS, and was it chief of staff, to the CEO. I mean, and I know you've said you really enjoyed, like you hit your stride, and you really enjoyed that period of your life, and I could have seen you doing that for the rest of your career. Yeah,
well, I took an unexpected exit.
Right.
My brother became terminally ill.
Yes.
And, he was everything to me. You can imagine after losing our mom how close 2 peas in a pod. People often thought we were twins. We could finish each other's sentences. And I used to always say that we were both 2 fragmented people, but together we made a perfect whole. And so when he got sick, I just knew I had to be there. Right. And as a parent for my father, that it's unimaginable, really. So I stepped up. I left my job out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere.
But you left a lot behind.
I did. But I knew in my heart it's where you had to be. I had to be. Yeah. I went to a speech the other day, and Hope Andrade was speaking, and she said this very poignant thing where she said, always be where your feet are. And I called her and told her, like, that thank you for that. And I think you
Right.
just have to trust yourself in life sometimes, that it may not be what seems popular or what other people think, but only you know
Right.
where you need to be. And so I always said, if I do this for the right reasons, it will work out.
Right.
It's going to work out.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Your brother was at University Hospital, right?
Yes.
Because I know you're extremely involved, and you and Ronnie give a lot of time and resources to that in honor of him, I would
it's a
think.
beginning, yes. So, that place is a very special place
Yeah.
for me. University Hospital is a very special place. He was there from 2011. He was there for 91 days.
Was it cancer or?
No, my brother, it's kind of like a weird, crazy
Okay.
thing. He
Okay.
was 37 and
So young.
just, his body and life, just became very fragile.
Yeah.
And, there's some things you can't explain, and when your card is called, it's called.
Yeah.
And so
Nothing
the reason
is
why
promised.
University Health is so special to me is because I was there with him for 91 days, and I wanted to be there. So I didn't want to have to be thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't do
Yeah.
my job. And, we had just had Matthew, and he wasn't even one yet. And I'd put my suit on, and I'd take my suitcase to the hospital, and I would always be there waiting to meet with the doctors at 9
Yeah.
a.m. And I had a whole
Oh,
spiral.
I bet you did.
And,
I
so
bet you did.
I would be there like a job from, 8 to 5 every day. And then I just started becoming very fascinated with the hospital. I was like, wow, this is like a system here, and it's like a
Yeah.
machine, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, needless to say, towards the end of his life, he was at peace.
Yeah.
He was, had found God again, and he
Good for him.
was, understood the value of his life. And it's all because there were special people at that hospital. There were people who were spending time with him.
Yes.
And towards the end of his life, it's unimaginable the process you have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
They were there for me. And when the pandemic came in 2020, I hadn't really appreciated having that.
Right.
But when you started to hear the stories of people not being able to be with their loved ones, or people having to be
the worst.
alone, it just like I had this epiphany of like what I had.
Yeah.
And so we felt compelled to let them know. So we wrote letters to the hospital, and a couple times we took meals, and in whatever capacity. I mean, we're not
Right.
like HEB.
Well, no.
We just
You don't have to be,
know,
though.
we do what we can. But
Yes.
now, fast forward. Actually, this was something I wanted to show you that
I don't know what she brought.
I'm very proud of. I am actually a legitimate volunteer. It says volunteer.
What?
I am a legitimate volunteer at UHS now, and so
Look at you.
yeah, I volunteer like
for you.
2 to 3 times a month. But I'm also hoping that my PhD work. I've been talking to people over
Yes.
there, and I'm hoping that I can work with them to tell this amazing story about compassionate care and the arts and all these amazing things they're doing there.
I love that. Now, Ricky, who was in the back seat,
Yes.
was your brother's son.
Yes. And so when my brother passed away, we adopted him. And so he's my big bear.
I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Sometimes you just come into people and you cannot believe some of the things that you've endured and the life decisions you've had to make. And at that time, that was a no-brainer for you to do that.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Like, yes.
Yeah.
There's
And I was working for the company.
yes, exactly. Oh, and I almost brought my brother worked for the company
Yes,
too at
yes.
one point in his life.
Oh
so
my
yeah.
gosh. So
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's just like finding what speaks to your heart,
Yeah.
really, to be honest. I mean, sure, you can do like sponsorships and, that kind of
Right.
stuff, and that's helpful, and
Yeah.
people need that. But beyond that, underneath the surface, there's something that really speaks to your heart.
Yeah.
And just go do it. Like another favorite thing of mine too is the Children's Bereavement Center.
Yes.
And the story there is that when my brother passed away, I really, even though I had my experience of losing my mom, I was not an adult trying to support a child.
Right.
So Ricky and I went there along with some other family, and we sponsor a potluck once a quarter.
Nice.
And that's because families go there for counseling.
Yeah.
And so there's just so many amazing nonprofits in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people feel like, oh, well, I'm not a big philanthropic, donor, or, who am I? But we all
Right.
can find something that touches our heart.
Yeah.
You know.
Today is the Big Give, as a matter of fact. It's ongoing right now. The reason I say that is because I just came from a meeting with the Nonprofit Council right before I came over here to see you. And I just bring it up because I don't think people realize there are literally thousands of nonprofits.
Yes.
But whatever number you think it is, think higher or double that number, because there are so many nonprofits in town. And hopefully they're getting their donations today with a Big Give. But to your point, I mean, there's so many. I always said on the news, if you ever need help with something, there is help out there. You just have to know where to find it.
There's so many amazing, talented people in the nonprofit world. And they're there because they want to genuinely help our community.
Yes.
And it's a calling for them. It's a way of life. And just like, you know, we need our water, our electricity, you know, the basic things, a roof.
Necessities, right? You do.
The nonprofit world really is there to help our community be better.
Yeah.
Or not be better, but to evolve and grow
sure.
and heal. Yeah.
For sure. All right. A few more minutes here with Stephanie Suarez, the co-owner and vice president, and many, many other things, but Integrity Roofing and Siding. I was going to mention the phone number, but it's right there. 340-ROOF. The website is integritysa.com for all your roofing needs and other things, siding, and you guys do other things as well.
Exterior surfaces.
So just something to think about here. But I know you brought some other stuff.
Because I wasn't sure, like, if we were going to need some material, so I have a little bit of a show and tell.
Go right ahead.
So obviously, well, faith is my number one thing, but
now again, we haven't rehearsed this, so I don't know what she brought.
Okay.
So you're going to see it with me.
So I identify with my spirit animal, which is a unicorn. I think that they are a very special species of animal because they are real to me. You know, they're the inspiration for glitter. You know,
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
And rainbows. And so rainbows also very important to me. Oh wait, where's the camera?
There it is.
Okay, very important. And this rainbow is super special because it's also a pencil pouch. So I have a pencil pouch for each bag. I have a work bag, a school bag, and a day bag. And they're not all rainbows, but they're there.
All right.
Okay, also hammer.
Whoa! I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
So I don't get on the roof, but if anybody ever needs a hammer, I have one because I'm handy that way.
Okay, I get. She's got jokes.
Okay, I also journal a lot. So
Okay.
I start my day journaling.
You do?
Every morning. Every
single morning.
Yeah, the kids and Ronnie know. Lastly, because I don't know how much time we have here. Okay, I brought this. It's a spatula because I like to cook. Now, I'm trying to like expand my menu.
Okay. What's your specialty?
Well, I learned how to make spaghetti from my mom and meatloaf, so that's passed down generation. I make really good breakfast options. You know, I came up with like a hoagie, a breakfast hoagie. I try to get creative for my kids.
It's fine.
But I'm working on some more options.
Tammy, my wife, is asking if you have a cake pop.
Oh, I ate it.
She loves her some cake pops from Starbucks.
I love cake pops. Okay, I have this because I like to celebrate life. It's a little disco ball.
Disco ball?
I don't know. Do you think your card maybe is missing something like that? I think so.
There it is.
I love Fiesta.
Yes,
so
you do.
I brought some medals, and you know, Ronnie needed 2 medals because you have Fiesta by day and Fiesta by night.
So Ronnie and I were on the court together for Ray Fail this past year. So he was
Yes, and aromatherapy is very important. So sometimes when it's like super stressful.
Can I get 2 hits of that, please?
Yeah.
Wow,
Doesn't that just like?
It says volcano.
Well, it's Capri, but the brand
is...
Oh,
excuse me.
Yeah. So and you know what I do is even when it runs out, I just keep it around, you know, because it just makes things so much nicer. The last thing I want to say, well, I don't know, I've got lots of material here, but this represents Leadership San Antonio
LSA.
47.
Yes.
So I'm glad this came up, and this is why I had show and tell, because in case I forgot to do shout out to anybody, but Leadership San Antonio has been a big part of my life.
I had to write it down. You were in class 32.
Yes.
You were on the steering committee for classes 33, 37, 44, and you were co-chair for class 47.
Yes. So
which is what you have there.
Yeah, so I was Mama Woo to class 47, and the other co-chair, Papa Woo, is Jeff Arndt from VIA. Who is my dear friend. I adore him, and we had an amazing steering committee. You know, Allison Reyes.
Amazing.
And all of our team and the class. Oh, just special people. And that was really the year I really started to deconstruct myself and ask myself, what do I need to respectfully retire? What do I need to enhance and make new? And they were like such the perfect like ground for just thinking about life differently. So I love them and adore them. I do honey. I quit sugar packets. So I carry honey with me everywhere.
Do you really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So always have honey.
So you don't use sugar to sweeten things. You use honey.
I use honey.
Did not know that.
And then prayer cards, because, I need everybody helping
Very
this.
spiritual.
My stairway to heaven. I need them all. And then a heart, because we need to really do things from the heart. So I love to live and look at things in color. And then the last two things.
No,
reading this book about Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
I love reading books. And this just called out to me when I was a child.
Well, I see you've marked a few spots in the book there. So
yes, I'm taking notes.
No, it's fine.
I'm taking notes on how to be a better.
She's not a bad person to take notes from.
A better community servant. And then, of course, I need to do shout out to Central
Catholic. You're where your husband went to school.
And my brother,
and
hopefully Jason Longoria Matthews applying.
Yeah, we love the Longorias. Yes.
But in closing, I love coffee and tea. Love coffee and tea. And then I thought,
Ronnie didn't bring anything when he was on the show with me.
And then Spurs, this is my clear bag that I take
when you go to the Prospect Center.
Oh, wait, where, can you see the logo? No.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Oh, right there.
Okay, there you go. Go Spurs. And then I just felt like, on a sad day, maybe you just need a little something that you can keep in your glove compartment. I named him Goldberg for you. I don't know. This isn't even gold. But anyway. I mean, don't you feel already better?
I do. I do. I should have brought a bigger car for all the stuff you brought in here.
Yes. So you can keep them in the glove box. Does this thing have a glove box?
No, it's got an under compartment on the other side.
He shouldn't even be in the glove box.
Well, I'll put him back there.
You can put him like how people put ducks on the Jeeps.
On the front. On the front.
So anyway, but see, it's already bringing happiness to you.
I love it.
That's pretty much what I brought for my show and tell.
Is that all? Seriously?
And pictures, family pictures.
I love it.
But
there is one last thing I see kind of right there.
Oh, yes.
Boy, this is a good way to close.
Oh, perfect. Well, I know Ronnie bought a hard hat, and I think other people, Mark did that too.
Mark
but
Warflores.
I put your logo. We put your logo on this one, so it's legit. And then I had some I don't know, but I'll find them. There you go. Oh, here they are. I made you stickers. So
the bar has been raised.
But
now
I'm going to keep
guests.
one.
No, go right ahead. She literally made stickers for pickup lines.
Yay!
What have I done to deserve this?
You got a brand. You got to market yourself.
What can I say? How did you find all the spare time to do this with everything you're doing?
I was journaling this morning and I thought about it and I thought Sparkles should come.
Oh my gosh. I just want to bottle up Stephanie Suarez and sell her so I want to be her when I grow up. It's fascinating. I love it. And this is not an act. This is really you.
You can ask Ronnie.
I know well enough to know this is not an act. This is not for the camera here.
No, it's not.
But this is what was so endearing about you, that you have been through so many things in your life, the loss of loved ones and adopting, your nephew, if you will, and all that stuff. And here you are, and you can celebrate life like this, and get your doctorate, and run a company, and give back.
Well, just focus on today. The power of now. The power of now.
Amen to that.
Well, thank you so much.
This is good for my soul. Look at me. I got a disco ball. I got a spatula.
You got Goldberg. Where did he go?
Goldberg's right here.
He put him on the floor.
Mother Teresa knocked him over.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me. It's an honor, really.
I'd be remiss since they sponsor my show, if I didn't acknowledge one more time. Integrity Roofing and Siding in the back there. 340-ROOF is the phone number. IntegritySA.com or your favorite. Follow them on your favorite social media platform. This is going to be tough to top.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
I gotta get the camera angle down.
It's good to see you.
Bye.
There you have it.
Much. Bye.
Another episode. I think this is still pickup lines.
Where's the jingle? Where's your jingle? Oh, okay. Well, that's.
I thought you were gonna bring one.
Okay. Well, now I know I gotta work on.
We'll see you next time. Thank you, Stephanie.
Bye.
Bye for now.